What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. And in the last video I said that I am taking a mini retirement to work on myself. And this video is going to be a continuation of that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my journey, and my experience with self-development, and how it really led me to quit my seven-figure software engineering job and pursue an online business. So that's what we're going to talk more about in this video. Expect to learn the one quote that encapsulates why I decided to become an entrepreneur, how you can radically transform your life in just 5 years to become barely recognizable to even yourself, and if you're depressed, what you can do to get yourself out of it. So let's cue the intro. No, no, I won't, I get up, no, 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 I won't, I get up, no, no, can't deny, no, no, I won't, I get. In the last video, I talked about how I'm going to spend the next 1 or 2 years trying to get to know myself better. And what that means is that I really want to understand myself on a deeper level, and to learn more about myself. And I believe that the most effective way to learn anything is to do it. What it means is that you do what you really enjoy. And over the years, I realized that what I really enjoy is improving myself. And there's this one quote that I came across a while ago, that really encapsulated and shaped my decision at that time, and it really helped me make the decision of what I wanted to do in these 2 years. And the quote is that business is a self-improvement course that pays you. And in the past, I have worked on myself and improved myself in a lot of areas, but now I just want to take this on a whole new level. Now, you might think that it is obvious, right? Like, who wouldn't want to get paid to become a better version of themselves? It's sad to say, but the person I was 5 years ago would have had a different perspective. You see, back then I had just begun my career as a software developer in Pune, and my primary objective at the time was to, get 2 years of work experience, so that I could get into a better college when I applied for MS in the US. And that had been my dream for the longest time, to go to America and to live the American dream. 5 years ago, if you had said to me that 5 years later, you'll still be in India and would have quit your job and started an online business, I probably would have laughed at you. Okay, maybe not laughed, I might have chuckled because I was really shy. But you know what I mean, right? My point is that it is remarkable how much we can change in just 5 years. I mean, physically, I still am the same person, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, I'm a completely different person. My values, my beliefs, my interests over the time have evolved in ways that I just couldn't have foreseen back then. You see, back then I was just one of the sheep. I was following the herd, and I was just doing what I was told and expecting to be rewarded at the end. But my perspective began to shift when I discovered the concept of self improvement. You see, throughout my childhood, I had been a shy and introverted kid. I had no friends outside of school, and most of my time at home was spent playing video games and watching cartoons. I used to believe that I was not good with people. I was bad at starting conversations and making small talk. I also believed that I just couldn't relate to Indian people, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to go to America so bad. But as fate would have it, my plans to go to the US got delayed, and I got a job as a software developer in Pune. At first, I really enjoyed my coding job because I didn't have to talk to a lot of people. I could just put my headphones on and immerse myself in the music and my work, and just get done with it, go home, watch Netflix and play video games. And yeah, like, I remember thinking like, this job, it is perfect for someone like me. But then after a while, I stopped enjoying the life that I had. I believed that I was on the right path. I was on track to my dream of going to America, but I was feeling deep levels of unrest within me. And I was not even able to find pleasure in my favorite movies and my favorite video games at the time. And I was just in a profound funk, and I had no idea why this was happening. So fast forward a couple of months, and there was one fateful Saturday, when I hit rock bottom. At the time, I was living in this high-rise apartment building that overlooked a golf course, and the view from there was just magnificent. And that morning um, it was winter morning, and the sun was shining, and the horizon was completely covered with fog. and the birds were chirping, and it was just a great morning, right? But when I went to the balcony, I just couldn't feel a thing, and it really screwed with me, and I started questioning the meaning of life. Like, I had everything that I wanted at the time, and I was again on track to getting what I always wanted, that was to go to America, but I wasn't able to figure out why I was feeling so shitty, and I then went for a bike ride, long bike ride, hoping that it would make me feel better. It didn't. But then I came back, and I just googled my symptoms, and what I found was that I had acute depression, and I was taken aback at first, but in a couple of minutes or maybe an hour, I accepted it, and I decided that I'll do whatever it takes to get out of this. And over the next few days, I learned more about my condition, and started working my way out of it. And I started waking up early, I started working out, I started meditating, and most importantly, I started reading self-help books. And that was when I was first introduced to the concept of self-improvement. Before that, I used to believe that we were at the mercy of our circumstances. I used to believe that life happened to us, and we just had to play with the cards that we were dealt. It was the first time in my life that I realized that I could get better at things that I suck at. And now that I sit here and reflect on it, I realize that it was at that time when I had started cultivating my growth mindset, which has now given me the courage to quit my job and start my own online business. Over the next couple of months, I worked my way out of depression and got obsessed with self improvement. I mean, it got so bad that I was literally going to sleep at 8 p.m. and waking up at 3 a.m. Just so that I had more time to work on myself before I had to leave for office at 9 a.m. And my roommate at the time, he probably hated me for it, but he was a good chap. He never said, he never complained or anything. And Shivam, if you're watching, like, sorry about that. And my obsession, it subsided after a while because life happened. But what I kept on doing was, I kept my habits intact. I was still reading, I was still meditating, I was still working out on and off, and yeah, all of those things. And over the next couple of years, my entire outlook towards life, it changed because of these habits. What I came to understand was that even though I'm an introvert, I could develop social skills and be charismatic and influential if I wanted to. I realized that I wasn't able to relate to other people because I was too much in my head, and I had terrible thinking patterns and cognitive distortions. It dawned upon me that I wanted to go to America because I wanted to escape my life and my problems. But I realized that I would end up manifesting the same things once I get there, because the problem was not out there, it was in here. And I realized that escape and distraction were not the solutions to my problems. And I started feeling this well of untapped potential within me, and I knew that I wouldn't be fulfilled until I was able to unleash that potential. And so I knew that I had to change, and I believed that I could change and evolve into something better, into someone better. And along the way, I got distracted, I got discouraged, I got scared, and at multiple junctions, I thought of giving up and accepting a mediocre life. But something within me, just kept bringing me back on track. It took me a long time to realize the value of a mentor and a supportive community, and I was very lucky to find a mentor when I needed him the most. And once that happened, everything just clicked for me. I saved up enough money to fund my mini retirement, and here I am. So the whole point of this story is that you can be anyone you want to be 5 years from now. You will be so different that you will be unrecognizable even to yourself. Unfortunately, for many of the people and myself, this journey began when we hit rock bottom. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. If you can learn to connect to your pain, you need to stop distracting yourself, or remedying your pain with short-term solutions. Tony Robbins says that change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. So you need to be willing to kill your past self or your current self that is not in line with your true self. I'm not saying this literally, so don't really hurt yourself or anything. What I'm saying is that you need to kill the idea of who you are, so that you can make space for your higher self to come in. And you need to focus on improving yourself, even if it is just by 1%. If you're fortunate enough to find a mentor and a supportive community, you can probably fast track your progress. And instead of 5 years, you can transform yourself completely in just 1 or 2 years by avoiding all the distractions and the dead ends and the pitfalls that are there along the way. So yeah, I guess that's it. I hope my journey inspires you to become the next version of yourself and to reach levels of fulfillment that may seem unimaginable to you today. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give a like. And until next time, peace.